Well, first of all, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. We appreciate that.
It's a pleasure.
So you're going to be talking to the audience this morning, taking some of the principles out of the book. Give us a little bit of a taster of what those are and why you think they might be applicable to this audience.
You know, it's interesting, whether you're in the public sector or the private sector, our organizations are built on the same DNA. They all go back about 120 years. They're all bureaucratic at their core with top-down power structures, lots of rules, lots of procedures. And I think we're going to have to change that fundamentally if we want organizations that can respond and change as fast as change itself. So the real key today, I think, is to go back, unpack how we got the organizations we got, and talk about how do you fundamentally drive bureaucracy out of large organizations? How do you make them more open, more transparent, more engaging, more inspiring, more innovative? And that's, I think, a challenge whether you're public sector or private sector today.
But why now? I mean, a lot of these things that you're talking about make a lot of sense, and yeah, we'd all sign up to them, but why now? You say what matters now. Why now?
Well, I think, you know, organizations of all types today are facing a set of unprecedented challenges. We know that change is accelerating as never before. There are all kinds of things around us that are now changing at an exponential speed. We see a declining trust in large organizations. This is really quite a new phenomenon if you look at how far that's fallen. We see enormous budget pressure on public institutions, and that's not going to go away. So they're being asked to do far more with far less than ever before. And the only way you solve that problem is an organization that's fundamentally more innovative than the ones we have right now.
Now, you talk a lot about in the book about values, and you talk about passion, and you talk about a new way of doing things. But when you look around the world today, do you see evidence of that?
You know, I do see evidence, not as much obviously as we'd like. That's part of why I'm here. But you know, we started a project a few years ago called hackmanagement.com, and our goal was to bring together the most progressive management practices from all over the world to kind of crowdsource the future of management. And if I look there, yeah, we see all kinds of beacons around the world, the city of San Francisco, NASA, the US intelligence services, all kinds of companies that really are changing the fundamental logic of how their organizations are run in ways that make them more human, that make them more inspiring and make them more creative. So, you know, I'm cautious, but I'm optimistic.
My final question is, also struck me in the book a little bit, is you say we all need to take responsibility for this. It's not a question of pointing fingers. Is that part of your message today?
Absolutely, it's part of my message. You know, if you look at the changes ahead, there's no way that a small group of people at the top of an organization can anymore be the pilots or have the sole strategic vision. Even the work of creating strategy and direction has to be syndicated out to the entire organization. You know, the world is changing faster than any of us are getting smarter, so we better bring on our colleagues and our peers if we're going to keep up.
Well, thank you ever so much. We appreciate you talking to us. Thank you.